So, per reports from Woj, Philadelphia 76ers guard James Harden is set to miss a month with the right foot tendon strain. Again, according to Woj, Harden appeared to suffer the injury in Wednesday's loss to the Washington Wizards. So, this is devastating news for a Philadelphia Sixers team that has been struggling all year. They finally seem to kind of be riding the ship a little bit, right? They had a nice little run, looked like they were possibly turning it around, and now their best player goes down. I mean, James Harden has been the best player for Philadelphia. He looked like revitalized. He looked like, the James Harden of old, and that's what they needed. Now, Philly is currently in 8th place with a 4-5 record, and I don't know how many games they're going to be able to win. They're losing not only to bad teams, but they're losing to good teams. And right when the ship started to look like it was getting right, all of a sudden, boom, James Harden gets hurt. And on top of that, he just got recovered from injury that he said has really hindered him last season. The type of play and the way he works and operates, that foot injury is really going to hamper him, really hamper his play. I mean, look, he's supposed to miss at least a month. I wouldn't be surprised if it's longer. And if he comes back, is he going to be able to move and operate the same way? He lost weight, so you'd think that he'd be able to, his feet and ankles and, things like that would be able to handle this more. But still, nonetheless, James Harden is hurt. This doesn't help because you have Joel Embiid, who has, dealt with injuries and has, missed several games. And it's looking like it's starting to go downhill for Philly here very fast. This just puts a lot more pressure on Embiid, puts a lot more pressure on the other guys as well as Maxey. And they've just been playing so well with James. The Philadelphia 76ers are actually better without Joel Embiid on the floor than they are without James Harden. And in general. And look, I'm not saying the Sixers should be trading Joel Embiid or anything like that. A lot of that has to do with just getting back and him falling to the ground on the offensive end and not getting out in transition. So the transition defense is not good when he's on the floor. There's many elements to it, right? If he sews that up, he could be a lot better. But regardless, it just shows how good James Harden has been this year for the Philadelphia 76ers, on top of him elevating everyone else and allowing everyone else to play better, right? The abilities that James Harden has allow somebody like Tyrese Maxey to really elevate his game and give you 44 points a night, stuff like that. That is huge, and he's able to do that because of James Harden. Well, now teams don't have to worry about James Harden defensively. They can hone in on Tyrese Maxey, and it makes things harder for him. It makes things harder for Joel Embiid. It makes things harder for the role guys because now they got to step up further and they got to kind of take on the role of James Harden. And you can't really replace James Harden, especially for this Phillies team. It's just not good. And now they're going to have to kind of change their style of play. And it seemed like they finally got a groove, finally starting to work it out. And, this ends up happening. And this is not good. And again, it puts so much more pressure on Joel Embiid and Maxey to really kind of step up and play better. And Maxey's already playing out of his mind, right? I mean, the kid's having a phenomenal preseason, a phenomenal regular season, looking like the next big thing for this team, looking like, a next top shooting guard, top scoring guard in this league. He's fantastic for Philly this season. And how much more can he elevate his game, especially now that defenses are going to be honing in on him? It's harder to constantly double team him or, have your best guy on him because you have to keep that guy on James Harden because James Harden does so much more, right? And James Harden's impact so much more. So you're trying to guard James Harden, you're trying to guard Joel Embiid, and then it kind of opens it up for Maxey to just kind of go off and do his thing. Well, now you don't have James Harden, and now you don't have anything close to try to bring that back. Hopefully Philadelphia can kind of tread water. Hopefully they can kind of, keep things afloat until Harden gets back, and then maybe kind of get back into the swing of things and right the ship. But I don't know. I mean, and this is the concern with the slow starts. This is the concern with the bad starts, right? When you go off and you don't perform the way that you should be performing and to the level that you can be performing, and you get behind, all it takes is one, even just small thing to happen to kind of ruin everything. This, I think, is a big thing because he has been their best player, their most consistent player, and the guy that's kind of done everything for him. He's been the James Harden that we've known in the past. And so I think that this could be sort of a huge blow to the Sixers. I'm still not sold on Doc Rivers. I don't think Doc Rivers is a coach of adjustments and a coach of change and somebody that can really lead a team to a championship unless he just has like an insanely stacked Boston Celtics team that you or me could have coached and still probably won a championship with. But I definitely think this doesn't help him, right? Because now Doc Rivers, a guy who's not very good at making adjustments and changes, has to figure out an adjustment and change to try to get this to work. And I just don't think he's going to. I think he's just going to run and operate the same way he has been. I think, he's going to end up living with the result. Not that you can make a significant change for James Harden, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, it's getting other guys to step up. What lineups worked outside of James Harden? All right, we need to run those lineups more. Who can give us the biggest impact in exchange for James Harden? Is this guy best suited for the bench, or is this guy best suited for the starting role? Things like that. Like all of those little minute changes are really what make great coaches and bad coaches. And I think Doc Rivers is already on the hot seat. Philly's already, under 500. They could easily start dropping in the standings, dropping in the win-loss column, and it could just end up being a disaster. And, it's crazy because Philly, on paper, is probably one of the best teams in the league. And it's just they just haven't looked good. And now you have James Harden going down, and you've already had Joel Embiid and his injuries. And, it's like seems to be kind of Tyrese Maxey's sort of standout year. I don't really want to say his breakout year because last year he really broke out a lot, and he was doing a lot of this stuff last year too. But he's just kind of like, I'd say this is more of a standout year for him because he's just standing out so much. It's getting more notice, getting more attention, getting more awareness. But still, it's just, there's a lot of promise on this team. You have Tobias Harris finally shooting like 40% from three for the first time in his career with the Sixers. And just like all things are starting to look really good. Things are starting to click. You go on a win streak, all of that stuff. And then you lose a game and you lose James Harden. And it's like you're under 500. And now you're climbing an uphill battle with Joel Embiid injured. And him playing hobbled, James Harden now hobbled. Like it's not good. It's not good if you're Philly. Philly's in a very tough spot, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully they can just kind of tread water. Stay in in the 500, maybe hopefully slightly above range. If they could do that, then I think they'll be okay. James Harden can come back, kind of get back into the flow of things. But hopefully James Harden comes back as the James Harden. Foot injuries are not, for basketball players or any athlete, foot injury is not good, right? Because, you need your feet. So, especially James Harden, the way he does all his little steps and, and all that and his movements and stuff, it's all footwork, right? So he needs to be able to plant and, push off and extend and all that stuff using his feet. So hopefully, even when he does come back, it doesn't take him time to get back into the swing of things, or it doesn't kind of just make him, struggle, because that could be a real concern as well. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. What do you think? Do you think that the Philadelphia 76ers are in trouble? Do you think that it'll be okay? However you feel, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Quick little shameless plug, go subscribe to my second channel, link down in the description below. As it stands, Lakers, I am a diehard Laker fan. I love talking Lakers. I could talk Lakers all day, just like I could talk about all sports all day. And I'm sure many of you watching to this point enjoy my commentary, enjoy these discussions. So go check out the Lakers channel. Even if you're not a Laker fan and you just like hearing me talk about stuff in basketball, go over there and subscribe. I'll link down in the description below. I promise you won't be disappointed. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot, lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.